All right, we are live 5G. Let's make sure the internet doesn't have any issues. Last time we had issues, if you watched the episode with Travis Ferris and Nisha, Real Estate First Technology Unleashed. What's up? Check out that episode. Shout out Travis, shout out Nisha from, I want to say Hawaii all the way to Colorado. They have an amazing team. I want to say like 120 plus agents. Go collab. They have a cool collab thing going on as well. And if you haven't already done so, like the episode, subscribe, hit the notification bell as we need your support. Can we get a round of applause for support? Yep, yep. We need your support. Come on. You're on one of the best podcasts out there. If you are an investor, real estate professional, technology provider, a coach in the industry of real estate, we're here to build community. We're here with someone that I met at the Play Bigger event. You're probably gonna see a theme because I've met a few different people at the Play Bigger event. I said, you got to get on the show. I want to hear your story. He's tied with the Call Tattoo Group and Justin Mercer. And shout out because we had Victoria on the show. I'm gonna go ahead and change up the camera angle so you all can see who we have in the lab today. And we have the one and only camera angle 2. Let's go. Dominic on the show. Welcome, Dominic, to Real Estate versus Technology. This guy, I mean, God, family, scaling, investing, real estate professional, buying homes cash.
Yes,
Dude, you're doing it, bro. Congratulations.
Thanks for having me, dude. This is awesome.
You're liking it?
Oh, dude, more than anything, I'm just grateful to have people that kind of want to hear other people's stories, and
Of course,
especially just like learning about you and everything.
Dude,
it's been a pleasure.
That's what it's about. It's about learning, like growing. Round of applause. I mean, come on, even for you too, for you to be on this podcast right now and to watch this and to go through this process with us. It's a process for us all to just evolve, right? I mean, there is no right or wrong. There is no straight line. You know, we get up, we have good days, we have bad days, we have just days, right?
Exactly. It's life.
Shit happens, right? And before we got recording here, there's something that came up for me because we were talking about how, like, I was like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to go to the Successful Misfits. Shout out, Call Tattoo. Justin Mercer's doing some really cool things with that whole entire outlet to give people an opportunity to share their story and to collab or collaborate with individuals that might have not been the most, I don't know, maybe they got picked on. Maybe they went through who knows what, went through jail, how to deal with some shit to get where they're at today. And you said when you were growing up, you know, you're going through this process yourself of evolving and finding who you are, your true authentic self. And I love to start there because I think a lot of people out there that are watching, they could be 50-50 getting in front of a camera because they don't look good, or 50-50 about speaking up on a Zoom meeting or at an event asking a question. And I remember at the Play Bigger event, dude, you were just like on it. You were asking questions, you were participating, like almost like you should have been a part of the event itself. Like, did they pay you, bro? No.
I wish.
I know, right? I just want to have you get paid to ask much questions. So let's elaborate on like the whole thought process of like who you really are. Who is who, and maybe you don't even know today, and maybe it's always going to be an evolving thing, but who's Dominic?
So that's a great question to start it off. I think more than anything to kind of just start everything off.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised from Nebraska, super small town. School that I grew up in had, I think my class alone, my graduating class had like 27 people.
Are you serious?
So yeah, like super small.
To like here in Arizona, Maricopa, like wow.
Yeah. It was like a big culture shock.
Okay.
And so like when I originally moved over here, it was for football. NAU was looking at me, was going to go up there, went to a training camp for him. After I ended up moving down here, dislocated my shoulder and messed up my ankle. So whole thing kind of fell out, and I had a couple of offers to go back to the Midwest and everything. I was like, oh, dude, screw that. I just came from there, and I'm starting to actually like Arizona.
Nice.
And so I ended up going to college right after I graduated, and I was going to originally be a physical therapist. That was like my whole plan from like literally middle school. That was like just kind of wanted to be able to help people and whatnot. And then I was like, well, don't want to have to go to school for that long. So then I was like, all right, we'll switch to nursing. And of course, once again, you still got to go to school for quite a bit. So that whole thing kind of fell out from under us as well. And then I transitioned into business management. So was gonna get into business management, take over our family farm back in Nebraska after everything, and ended up falling out. We had a family fallout, so I was like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just go and get myself in a shit ton of debt and not know what I'm gonna be able to do with that degree or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, best case scenario, I'm going to be looking at a job of making, 40 to 50, 60 grand maybe a year right off the bat. And it's like, all right, I can maybe just, instead of going and spending the 4 years in university or community college or whatever, why don't I just try and go like do a business or something?
I love it.
And so real estate always caught my eye, especially like when I moved down here. My grandparents moved down here in 2010, and back in Nebraska, it's like everything's like built in the 1900s.
What? I can see that.
Yeah. And so like after kind of looking at that and then coming over here and just seeing all the stucco houses, everything looked the same, everything looked clean.
Yeah.
That's what kind of like drove me to it. And so finally I just remember sitting in my apartment in Tucson, and I was like just completely drained. I was either getting up at 6 a.m. to get ready to go to school or getting ready to go to work. And worked at a gym front desk for a while. And I just kind of got sick of it. I was like, dude, like, what am I missing out on right now?
For sure.
Especially like with social media, you see all these people, just absolutely killing it. And it's like, okay, dude, like I'm missing something here. And so I remember like literally vividly searching how to make money online, how to make more money,
Let's go.
Like side businesses that I can start and doing all of that stuff. And then finally it just kind of reverted me back to real estate. So got into real estate, and then afterwards, I think, I remember it was like right after I passed my test and everything, I told myself like, dude, you're going to quit your job no matter what, like you're just gonna have back against the wall type of moment.
I love it.
And burn the boats behind you. And after that, ended up closing 15 deals my first year. It was a little over 100 grand. So it was like, dude, most money I've ever made in my life. And
congrats.
Just kind of rolling into everything, I was able to stumble across the investment space. That's when we kind of met Justin and whatnot. I actually met Justin at it was another conference. It was the Menace conference.
Okay.
And so I was coaching with them. Super grateful to be able to have that opportunity of just like kind of really upping my level of like mindset and everything. I think that was the big thing that I was lacking. So like super grateful I had that. And then that's where I met Justin. Just kind of stayed in touch with him. Wasn't too serious or anything. And then it finally came to the point of like, all right, dude, like I'm just tired of like kind of being this one-dimensional agent. I'm tired of just only having one way of making income. And so seeing him and like just kind of how he blew up super fast. We got our license basically the same time. He got it at the beginning of 2020 and I got mine at the end of 2020. So it was like super cool to kind of like see somebody that like, same time frame as me and everything. And then he just blew up. So had a meeting with him and then it was just history from there.
Dude, that's sick. So how long you been in Arizona now since you made that call and said, I'm not going back? And
it was March 28th, 2018.
Wow, dude, that's amazing. So 2018, got your license at the end of 2020, first year, 15 deals done and 100,000 in earned commission.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's round of applause. So anything is possible. Okay. Anyone who's watching this, you want to get in the business in real estate, you can make that type of money. Not everyone does that because we all know 90% of the business is done by the top 10% of real estate professionals. So let's 100%. not get twisted here. Okay. It's possible, but you have to be disciplined. You talked about mindset, right? And just staying focused. And it sounded like the narrative of what you're telling me was everything pointed back to helping people.
100%. I think especially with everybody has this misconception about, the barrier of entry in real estate is so low, like it's so embarrassing low. And so that's why the standard for success is so high.
Yeah.
And you have to also look at it from the standpoint of everybody's going to think that, making 100 grand, making 200 grand, 300 grand, 400 grand, like it's definitely not easy. But everybody also psychs themselves out. Like they don't even take the first step.
Yeah.
So competition's already lower at that point. And once again, like you look at it, we have, 70,000 licensed real estate professionals here in the state of Arizona. And 10% of those people do 90% of the business. And so it's like you're playing in a small pool. All you got to do is just literally have the right mindset, be disciplined, and get around the right people. I think that was the biggest thing of where I saw the biggest shift in my life, which was, getting around Justin, getting around the Menace people, and just exposing myself to people who are where I want to be. I don't think you're ever going to just be able to constantly figure things out. It's going to take you, like, I'm not saying you can't do it, but it's going to take you so much longer. So why not, kind of cut the time frame in half and just like get around the right people.
I love that. I love that. And we are on Real Estate versus Technology Unleashed. You're hearing a little feedback. Now you're not. Now you are. No, you're not. Now you are. We're working on some technical difficulties, so we want to make sure we got everything down pat. But at the end of the day, like, this is real life, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that could be something that could get in my head and could just stumble the podcast for myself, or I couldn't be in the right mind frame because I'm thinking about things like that. And I think that anyone who's watching and listening right now, make sure you're liking the video. If you like it so far, subscribe to the notification bell and comment below with what are you facing, because it's kind of cliche. A lot of people say that, right? Like, get in bigger rooms, and it's all about mindset and consistency and all the things. And like, there is a reason for it. It's not just like some fucking whatever. We're just saying this because no, it's like, you have to know where you're going, why you're going, where you want to go. And you might not always get there in 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, who cares? But as long as you're consistent and, working out and breath work and doing cold water therapy and all that type of stuff just helps with the stresses of the day so you can perform that much better. And that's where I do believe, like, we got a sign over here that says, if your circle doesn't inspire you, you don't have a circle, you have a cage, right? And a lot of people are dealing with that. They're in cages.
100%. I think a lot of people, more than anything, it kind of comes back down to, like, it just comes to a choice of, am I going to be done living the life that I'm living, or am I going to give myself permission to go out there and kick ass and just do the shit that I want to do?
Let's go.
You have to make that choice of living like that. And every day you have that choice.
Yeah.
Am I going to just sit here and, not do the things that I was committing myself to yesterday? Am I going to do that, or am I not going to do that? You have to ask yourself that every single day. And I think more than anything, the biggest transition that I had in my mindset was taking care of myself in the mornings. I wake up at 5:30 and then I go to the gym. After that, I read the Bible.
There you go.
And I make my food throughout the day, so I don't have to even think about that stuff. That's like having that routine. It's to where you don't have to think about things. It just naturally happens. But now you're able to do the things that, it allows time for yourself. I don't touch my phone or anything. It's like, because how am I supposed to deal with other people's problems when I can't even deal with my own?
Ooh.
And that's what finally clicked with me, was I got to just be able to take care of myself. Once I'm in a good mental space, hey, I'm ready to take on the world, like, with whatever it throws at me. And more than anything, you have to also look at it as, like, when you do go through these hard times of adversity and you're just getting your ass kicked, like, day in and day out, like, trust me, I've been there. Like, last year, I did not do what I did my first year.
Wow.
It was like literally my first year, or my worst year.
Wow.
I think the biggest thing that I had to really look back on, and especially like looking back on it from now, was the adversity that I went through, of just knowing that I'm not going to throw in the towel. I think that's a big thing, is just like a big inspiration of mine is Ed Milet. He wrote the book, The Power of One More. Of
I
just,
love
like,
that.
doing it one more day. Like, dude, you can quit tomorrow. Just do it one more day.
Yes.
And then one more day.
Yes.
And one more day. And just getting through that. And then, like, looking back at it now, if I would have just thrown in the towel, I wouldn't be in business with Justin. Like, we now have an investment company. So it's me, Justin, and Greg. And those two literally hold me to a higher standard. And I hold them to a higher standard as well. And I think having those people that, they're your very core foundations in your life, of those people ain't gonna, like, leave you high and dry or anything. They're always there to just be, a shoulder to cry on.
I love that.
Like, I think that's the type of people that you need in your life.
Yeah. And I'll say this, and it's this simple: take fucking control.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't take control, the narrative is controlled from
100%.
the media, from television, from all the things. You go to the gas pump. Talked about this in a few episodes ago. Go to the gas pump, you get gas. What happens? Boom! There you got a TV right in front of your face. Is wifey coming in? Is she bringing some matcha? We're on Real Estate versus Technology Unleashed.
Awesome.
And Shout out redzent.com. You can go ahead and come in the camera. There she is. Thank you so much. And
thank you,
man. Can we? I don't even know if we could cheers. Can we do this without all?
Oh yeah, we can make it happen. Here we go.
All right, this is a cheers to taking fucking control. And so. Not bad, huh? Not bad. So, yeah, Melissa has some amazing matcha, and we both work from home. My wife and I, Gilbert, Arizona, and have
great setup, by the way.
Thank you, man.
Everything.
Just
like,
make
seriously.
It's setting yourself up in a place that you are inspired to be.
But it's having a vision and committing yourself to that too, and that's something that I really applaud you. Like, especially like with the social media stuff and everything. Like, that's something I'm trying to get back into.
Okay.
Like Menace, that was like a big thing for us. Was like posting X amount of times a day and all of this stuff, and that's how I got a lot of my posts. Like before I got into real estate, I had like maybe like 30 posts or something like that. So got like 460, but I also like don't post on a daily basis. Try to be more consistent with the the stories and all of that stuff. But I'm just in this moment to where it's like I think it's more important for me to just like really put my head down and focus and just do the things that I'm really fucking good at. Personally. And I think you also have to have that confidence of knowing what your strengths are.
Yes.
I used to always say that, some of my biggest weaknesses are that I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I
whatever.
Kind of like I'm just very soft-hearted. I've always been that way. And now I look at it and I like kind of had to like really reframe how I looked at it. And it's all about perspective. Hashtag Greg.
Let's go.
So I had to kind of look at it from a different perspective, which was, all right, so maybe I am a little bit more emotional and maybe I do like, I'll be honest, like I cry and all of that shit, but I also think that's what you need to do. You need to get that shit out. But with that, I'm able to connect with people on a such higher level.
Oh my God.
Like that's what I think my big advantage is, and being able to connect with other, like all different types of people too. I think that was like a gift that God gave.
I love that. And one thing I could tell that you do is that you're very open.
Yeah.
Like you come in and you're just like, your eyes are like wide and you're really paying attention. And you could tell the difference from someone that's either not maybe as open, and this could be potentially you. And this is not a negative thing towards anybody. This is a time and a space that we're all in, whoever's listening and watching, and for us in the room right now, to do some self-evaluation.
Oh yeah.
Right. And you have to self-evaluate and then, ask yourself, what are you committed to? And I know there's some people out there right now that are like, the first thing that go through their mind is maybe they might be thinking about being somewhere else, either in the past or the future. They're judging certain things because they think that they would change it this way or that way or whatever the case may be, which then is causing you not to be as open as someone like, Dominic here. You're just so open. You could tell there's like, because you could tell like when you're not connecting with someone, they either have something else going on or they're just not 100% present because maybe there is something that's going on in their life that you have no idea and they're not open, so you don't know. Or maybe they're judging, maybe they're hater. Who knows what it is, but you can feel the energy. And it makes a huge difference when you're out there doing your thing and not being authentically you. And I got to say shout out because I could tell you're very authentically you and you're just open and you're just willing to learn.
Like that's what I respect so much is like people just being unapologetically themselves. I think I remember, especially when I was younger, I always wanted to be like somebody. And I don't know. I don't know what it was. I think it was like the very first book, like self-help book that I read, which was Think and Grow Rich.
Ooh, I love that one.
Like literally one of the most profound books I probably ever read to this day. But I think the biggest thing that it kind of talked about was being unapologetically you. You are never going to be like, I would never be as good as Norman is Norman.
Yeah.
Like I just can't be that. Like I can't beat you.
I can't be Dominic.
Exactly.
It's
and
you.
So like, why not just be your own fucking superhero?
I love that.
Give yourself that permission to just go out there and be yourself. And like, that's what I had to do when I moved over here. Is I was very introverted when I lived back in Nebraska. I wouldn't talk to people or anything. I was very just focused on like sports and I don't know, just kind of always been that way. And then when I moved over here, I was like, shit, I literally moved here my senior year of high school. All of my friends, all of that shit, and we're gone. And I was kind of like left on an island. And so I had to ask myself, all right, what am I going to do here? Am I going to just sit here and be the kid in the corner that nobody wants to talk to or anything of that sort? Or am I going to be the guy that just goes out there, bees himself, and naturally attracts the people that want to be around him?
I love
that's
that.
what I did.
I love that. And that speaks a lot about your character and how people know who you are and what to expect. Because a lot of times people post on social media or they try to put up a facade because maybe they aren't 100% unapologetically them. So they put up a facade as they try to figure out who they are. And that can really put you down a downward spiral. This is Real Estate versus Technology Unleashed. So we are live on Instagram.
What's going on, guys?
So I'm going to go put this in the tripod. And as we continue to show, let's go. We're live, Real Estate versus Technology. And here you go. Now you can hear me. And you never know what to expect here. So, but no, I absolutely love that. And just taking it back 3 or 4 steps on the manifestation thing, I just wanted to touch on a point that was in the back of my mind is that everything that you have, I have, anything that you have listening to the show, anyone on the live right here that's listening, you've all manifested the things that you have. And it could be something as simple as like the shirt on your back to the shoes on your feet to the car that you drive to the house that you live in. And you might be thinking like, oh, I didn't pick this car. This car just came to me because of a relative gave it to me, or it's all I can afford right now, or whatever. And if you're thinking that that's like all you can afford, or that's just because of this, because of that, to be honest, it's really is what you think of yourself as your self-worth. So if you 100%. Want a nicer car, or you want a nicer house, or you want nicer shoes, or you want nicer clothes, or whatever the case may be, then you really have to ask yourself, like, let's turn up the dial here because your thermostat's set too low. Yes. Let's turn that bitch high. And like, let's really, because like you're right now in my manifestation of what I manifested. And now I get to share this with you to help inspire you, anyone on the live to 100%. Now be like, dude, like, I'm going to do my own spinoff, but I'm going to take this idea, that idea, or whatever the case may be. Like Mike Sherrard, shout out Mike Sherrard. Check out his podcast. He's up in Canada. His Wolfpack sign, I inspired him to get. Mm-hmm. Now, you wouldn't know that, but then also his purple Lamborghini, he sent to me as one of the first people before he got it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like he shared his manifestation to inspire me. And then I just got my GTR and I sent it to him. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to digress a little bit.
That's awesome
on that topic.
Like, and I love that too, is like, really does come back down to what you think yourself is, like what you think you're worth to the world. I think a big thing that especially like you really represent is all of this. This is probably like, this isn't just shit that just happens.
No,
this is stuff that you've been thinking about for years, and like probably 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's finally coming to fruition after all the hard work and all the,
amen,
you know, the times that you're getting your teeth kicked in and shit, you know, like that's the stuff that I look at, and I've just learned to embrace that. You know, I'm in a phase right now to where we're in a very big building stage right now.
Let's go.
You know, we're about to have our first $100,000 month.
Wow.
Month. And it's super sick to be able to even say that. Like I never even thought I would be able to say that. But I think more than anything is it just really shows you, after you consistently do things over and over and over again, and you have a bigger vision.
Yeah.
Because we want to be at $250,000 by the end of the year.
Wow.
Like a month. And that's what I really look at is, you know, it's all stepping stones, and you have to take the small wins for what they are, and also just be able to like have, like, give yourself a little bit of grace.
Let's go.
I think we are so, like, especially me, I'm so freaking hard on myself, and I honestly have to give a lot of the glory to God. Like all Amen. Of the glory to God. He has been able to just put me in the situations to have the opportunities happen, and I was able to take advantage of that. And
that's awesome.
Couldn't be more grateful for that. But it also comes back down to, you know, just believing that you can do something. If I have a 50-50 chance at anything, I'm taking that chance on myself every fucking time.
You know what's crazy? I don't believe in coincidences. I believe everything happens for a reason.
100%.
And it's crazy that you just said that this is going to be your first $100,000 month.
Yep.
Because it's also going to be Liftoff Agent's first $100,000 month.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Dude, that's awesome.
So you said that.
Round
I was
of
like,
applause. Where is that?
I was like, what? Hold on. We're going to do some round of applause.
Yeah.
We got to do some cheering. Come on. So it was crazy because like our biggest month was like 71, 72 in March, right? And so right now on the board, this is all the things we got going on. So everything from like Liftoff to the podcast to our event to my wife's company to our fix and flip, And so right now we're at about like 400,000 for the year so far.
Dude,
And
that's
the
amazing.
goal, thanks, bro. The goal is 1.5 million from like the liftoff standpoint, and then 500,000 from my wife's like company, like her tea company, our fix and flip, our Airbnb, renting out the room, house hacking, that type of stuff. 100% transparent. Like this is unleashed. There's no holdback here. And so the goal's $100,000 this month. And so I believe that if you know specifically what you want to achieve, and whether you say universe, you say Ganda, you say God, you say whatever it is, believe in what you believe, and you have that power to do that. And you put that in the universe and you say, I'm going to draw the sign in the line. This is what's going to happen. And then you sit back and you watch. And the one thing that I've been seeing is, and they're called angel numbers. It could be numbers in patterns or whatever the case may be. And I keep seeing numbers like 747, 737. My weight this morning was 770 pounds and 0.7, whatever. And I'm like, what the? So I'm seeing the sevens in a pattern. And so when I see that, it's a key indication in my brain that I'm on the right track and I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do in this exact moment in time and space in the universe. And so once you said that $100,000 marker, I'm like, oh my God, that is crazy that that's coming up right now. And then like our ads are just kicking off. So you're going to be seeing Liftoff Agents ads coming out like all over the place next 24 hours or less. Just brought on a sales rep. He's amazing. Shout out to Steve. He's crushing it. And then we had all of these various strategy sessions coming in. And I'm just like, I don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be on the 25th, 28th, 29th, the 30th of the month. I just know it is.
So what would you say were some of the biggest obstacles for you to kind of get to that point to where you were at that $70,000 month, and what was able to kind of push you over that 100?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie here. Like the last couple of months, I'm not saying they're not good months. They're good, but they're not at that same level. And the market shifted, so agents aren't really like, oh, let me invest in marketing right now, right? They're thinking of other things, whether it's creative marketing ideas or they're waiting on their clients. Now it's summer, kids are out of school, so now they're busy transacting. And normally we're busy like September to March, right? So basically it's our busy time when agents are busy transacting. During the summer, it's our slow time. But what really was a catalyst for me is like we do profit sharing. So we have a profit sharing model on both sides. So it doesn't matter if you're an agent who wants to work with us and you say, oh, I saw Justin Mercer Call Tattoos team's website. So we give you 10% off of our sites, and then Justin gets to rev share 10% after his first referral. It goes to 20, and then Levi Lassick, shout out, living in Dallas, Texas, is at 30%. Now that's just that side. Now with Liftoff, when the money comes in on the startup costs, and you go look up Agent Image, Luxury Presence, Agent Fire, and you find out if they're giving out this type of information, right? The companies out there are not being as transparent, and I could be wrong. Fact check my ass and comment down below. So check it. So when someone comes at startup, ramp up, or scale up, the startup cost goes into a pool or into like a bucket, right? So it stays into an account, and there's different buckets, whether it's like marketing bucket, team bucket, end of the year event bucket. So we have the bucket, and like the one times go into that bucket, and then we look at like, okay, after the bills are paid, what's left over, and then we can use that to then say, all right, team, you did a great job. Here's your 15% of whatever it was. We had $50,000 this quarter of profit. Now we're going to share that with the team. And then the monthly reoccurring goes into salary. So salary, 401k, paid time off, like all of the things, dental care, vision, and that type of thing. So we've set it up that way. So that way, and there's some debt on the books, and we've taken various different like debt loans just to expand. Like we literally just took, we just took money just to like literally, like right now people are like, gas pedal, brake, wait, I want to see what's going on. We're like, no, we're going the opposite direction, and we're pushing down harder. And my partner are on the same page, and it's just like, all right, we're going to spend $2,000 to a company just to manage our ads, and another $1,500 on top of that, $50 a day, and then we're going to bring on some additional debt. Now we're going to bring on 5 additional people, and it's during a time of like uncertainty and even a slow time of the year, normally going in the summer. And I'm like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So it's for the team, serving them, supporting them, helping them for the team. At Liftoff, I'm basically doing majority of the sales. I was out, and then now I'm back in, and like I said, there's no straight line. So it's not like you're just just all suddenly scale up, big old sales team. I'm on the beach, just drinking Mai Tais, chilling. Like no, it's like sometimes you got to move backwards, get in the trenches. And even when I get to the point of like having a large sales team, I'm still going to take strategy sessions, and I want to be humble, and I want to understand what's going on, and I never want to be bigger than the business. And I kind of had that issue last year with that. But yeah, definitely the team profit sharing. I've never taken a bonus from the company ever, so it'd be nice to take a little bonus myself. I got a couple of modifications in the GTR I want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's an expensive little toy, but it's all good. And so that's a lot of it. And then just being able to take that, talk about it on the show, inspire other people, and to be like, hey, if I could do it, you could do it, we could all do it. And it's just one step in front of the next, and it's just one more level, right? Then you're like, all right, I'm going to do 150. Now I'm going to do 2, like you said, 250 a month, right? But it's all possible.
Oh, 100%. And that's what I also love about it too, is like there's literally any direction that you can kind of go with whatever business you want to start. It's so cool to be able to network with so many different people other than just like real estate specific. Is like
for sure.
You get to see all of these different business models, and it's like eventually I just want to get to the point of where I'm investing into companies and helping them grow.
Let's go.
And that's like a big dream of mine.
I love that.
Very similar to like what Alex Ramosi does with acquisitions.com. Like I really just love being able to kind of get into it and figure out what needs to be able to, like, what I can be able to help with. I think specifically for me, I have like a bigger vision, and I'm able to execute on things more than anything. Justin is kind of like the big visionary, thinking of just creating opportunities for Greg and I. And then Greg and I go out there and just execute on everything that he's kind of put out. And so we just put it into play. And that's like the super cool part about everything.
So then let's talk about that bigger vision. Like, what is the bigger vision outside of, like, a lot of people out there are thinking getting real estate, right? That's a big paycheck. That's a game changer, all the things, but they're always like on to the next deal, on to the next deal, on to the next deal. And if you're not reinvesting or thinking bigger picture, because now you're already talking about investing in other businesses, you're already talking about how you're buying homes for cash. Like, what is the bigger vision? Like, what's your thoughts?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question. I mean, honestly, I guess for some milestone goals that I have for myself is by 25, I want to be a millionaire.
Ooh, let's go.
And then by 30, I just want to have the option of retiring, but I'm not going to.
I love it.
Just kind of being able to have that in my back pocket. Yeah, I think the biggest vision for me right now, and especially for, Justin and Greg and I, I would say is just like really getting this to be more of like self-efficient and being able to just kind of run it by itself, to where we don't have to necessarily work in the business. We can work on it to make it scale more.
I love it. That's awesome. And I just want to say welcome. We have individuals tuning into the live. What's going down? What's going down? Real Estate versus Technology Unleashed. We're recording another podcast as we speak for the weeks to come. And I just want to clear the air real quick. Okay. So you may or may not know. Okay. So he said millionaire for 25. Okay. Okay. You may or may not know I'm 37. Right. So it's just like, I could look at Dominic and be like, damn, I wish I was almost like 25, like hitting a million and shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, there ain't no straight line. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so we all, like, I didn't even like, really, for anyone who's older out there, right? I'm not trying to date myself over here and be like, fucking, I'm older, but anyone that is like, in their late 20s, in their early 30s, in maybe even their mid 30s, right? Or even 40s, whatever, just someone that is getting like in their own way. Like, I was in my own way for a while. And I would say even like probably 12 months ago, I would either feel resentment or why this, them, and not me, and all these things. And like, I had so much to be grateful for, but I had that in the back of my mind because I had to get past myself.
For sure.
I was so like inundated. And then, like, I'll be honest, like, I don't think I've ever said this publicly, but what's next for real estate? I had Dibbity marketing, and shout out Tyler. And if you're watching this episode, he was the one that inspired me to do the events. Cause I'm like, dude, what the fuck? We should be doing events. I'm like, he's doing this event. If he could do it, I could do it. But I didn't do it like, he did motivate me, but I kind of did it out of resentment a little bit more because I used to do parties and promotions and shit in my 20s. Yeah. And then I was just like, and then I got like knocked upside the face a couple times. Like, we lost a bunch of money on last year's event, doing it hella big. Shout out Justin. He was one of the keynotes. Same thing with Raquel. She was one of the keynotes. Mike Sherrard was one of the keynotes. I went big. I swung to the fences. So I'm going to scale back a little bit to get the systems and processes right. and keep moving forward with it. But yeah, it took me a minute, man. Not until like probably end of last year, 2022, beginning of 2023, did I really start to like be like, all right, just let it all go. It doesn't matter. Like, let's just collab and just fucking
Well, and I think the
next
cool thing
level.
about that too is more like the fact you have the balls to go out and do that shit. You know, regardless what the outcome was, I
Yeah.
look at the activity of everything and
Yeah.
like the fact that you are laying everything out on the table and like you're not leaving any gas in the tank. Like
Nope.
that's what it's all about.
Yep.
Like you're not always gonna fucking make these big home runs or
Hell
anything of that
no.
sort. Like that's what I kind of had this vision of is like, oh, I'm like as soon as I get into this, it's just gonna be all sunshine.
Hell no.
More often than not, you're in the trenches. Like,
Yeah.
and that's just how it is. But that also is what creates like that's what builds your character. That's what
Yep.
allows you to see the bigger vision and allow to kind of have that delayed gratification.
Oh
I
yeah.
think once I was able to kind of wrap that around my mind, that's when I kind of was a little bit more realistic with my goals and everything. And I also think it's super imperative that you do have super lofty goals though, because like a millionaire by 25, like I I think it's lofty and everything,
Yeah.
but even if I don't hit that and I'm like super close to it, like that's what it's all about. Like
Yeah.
you're way farther than where you were at the day
Oh,
before or the
for
year before or
sure.
where you even started. Like that's what I look at is the progress.
Yeah, 100%. I think that anyone who's listening and watching, it's like I'm grateful that it took the time that it took because I knew for me, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that type of
Yeah.
money, that type of success. And you really have to have thick skin. You really have to have discipline. You have to
Yeah.
have the right team around you. There's so many things that you have to have in order to be ready for that. And I felt like it was something like, look at the Colonel Sanders, you know what I'm saying? Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like he did what, 60 something?
Yep.
You know, and so I believe personally, like I said earlier, everything happens for a reason, and it was for a reason that needed to help me prepare for what's next. And
Yep.
now it's happening so fast that like I'm still in my 30s, I'm not tripping. You know, there's
Yeah.
still plenty of time.
Dude,
You know
you're
what
in
I'm saying?
prime time
And
right
dude,
now.
and we're living longer than ever before these days. And like my goal, like is like hundreds, bro. Like I'm
Yeah.
going for like hundreds. Like that's why I'm like red light therapy, like cold
Yeah.
water. Like I'm doing all. I got some mushroom gummies on the way. They should be here
Yes,
in a
I
couple
love it.
hours. I can't wait to try those. Like I'm going there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, and I think too the big question I had to ask myself was, a lot of people say that they're scared of, taking action because they're scared of failing.
yeah,
And I think more of the question that I never asked myself, and once I finally did, it like hit me in the face was, you're not scared to take action to fail. You're scared to take action because you're scared of the success. You're not ready for it. You don't have the mental capacity to wrap your mind around that.
yes.
And I think more than anything, you just have to like failing is a part of it.
Oh my god.
And failure is not like a negative term or anything. It's when you quit, then
Yeah.
that's when it's a negative.
Exactly.
Failure is just a part of the process of having success.
Amen.
You're never gonna learn the lessons that you have to learn to be able to have those, like have the amazing amounts of money that people have and everything. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing is like Grant Cardone, for example. Like he is probably like he's another really big guy that, especially like when I was younger, really caught my eye. Was he was a drug addict from 15 to 26, 27.
Yeah.
Finally, went to rehab, got clean, and then he didn't make his first million until he was 31. Now the
Wow.
dude's like 60, like, yeah, he's like mid
66, 67,
yeah,
something like that.
and he's multi-billionaire. But it didn't all just happen and everything.
Oh,
and
no.
like nobody knew him when he was like 30 either.
Yeah.
Like a million is like, it's in today's age, like it's really like probably $100,000 compared to like what it was 100 or
Oh,
yeah, like
for
100 years
sure.
ago. Like everything just moves so fast, and like that's why I want to be there so quickly too. And I don't have any excuse. I don't have,
Yeah.
I don't have a mortgage. I don't have a wife. Don't have kids. Don't have anything that is truly holding me back. And so
Besides you.
yeah. And I have literally no excuse other than to just go out there, fall on my face, and get back up.
And I'm gonna tell you something right now. When you do have kids and you do have a mortgage and you do have a wife and you do have that shit, dude, it's even that much better because you have cheerleaders and you have your fans, which are your families behind you being like, let's go. And then you get to share the house with other people and you get to do so much more with it. Like it was crazy with the whole car situation. Like my daughter, she didn't know, and like now I get to share this with her, and she sees the cars up there, and I've been talking about the GTR, this, that, and other thing, and then now she's like, help me put like the sticker on it for like the logo for Instagram, and then like she's like going to the car and kissing it and say it's her favorite and this and that. So it's cool to be able to share experiences that I didn't really manifest sharing my dream car with my daughter, and it just kind of happened that way. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of knew it was in Arizona, but I didn't really know it's going to be Gilbert and all the things. So you don't always know. You just got to stay true to who you are and keep moving forward.
Not know either.
Yeah.
Like most of the time you're not going to know.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is George Bryan actually talked about this at the Play Bigger event.
Okay.
Is everybody focuses on the how. Like, how do I make $1 million? Yep. How do I go and have all this success? How do I do this? How do I do that? Like, bro, you don't even deserve to know fucking how.
Yeah.
Like, you just need to go out there and figure it out. Like, and that's like literally one of the best ways is he was saying that he has people who pay him hundreds of thousands of dollars for coaching.
Yeah.
And literally the answer was in front of them. The how was right in front of them the entire time. And even after they, he helps them get there.
Yeah. 100%.
Like they still want to pay him because of the value that he brings. And it's like, you have to look at that. Like most of the time the answer is right in front of your face. You're just not opening your eyes to being open to it.
100%. I love that. So we have a viewer, and we appreciate you. Shout out who is viewing. It might be Victoria. And so I want to save all the rest of the good stuff for 41 minutes in. The live was probably about 15 minutes or so. So real estate versus technology. Yes. Shout out Dominic if you want to watch this, and if you are watching the episode in the future, you can go to the IG Real Estate versus Technology. Check us out, give us a follow there, and then you can go ahead and check out this live. So appreciate you. We're gonna go ahead and continue the podcast, and stay tuned for when it goes live. So right there, play bigger, right? Like there's opportunities all around us, and 100%. So taking pictures, doing videos, and like doing the podcast, recording it on StreamYard, and then going live on Instagram. It's like, come on, right? You gotta take advantage,
dude. And I think the super cool part about social media, especially now, is I think it's so important that people are on social media and sharing their experience. Like I feel guilty that I'm not on there like I used to be and all of that. And like that's something that weighs heavy on me, and it's like the back and forth.
Yeah.
It's so important to get on there and share your experience, because you have no idea who is watching on the other end and what 100%. That can do for somebody. I think just that, like maybe somebody, I believe that everybody has a story, and somebody is going through something that you've already gone through. And the fact that you can literally help them get through whatever they're going through so much quicker. But the fact that you're being so selfish of not posting because you're worried about, what are people going to think? Like, dude, truthfully, nobody gives a shit. Like, complete honesty, nobody cares. Like, that's the thing.
No one does.
You need to do it out of, like, the sense of, damn, somebody could use this, though. Like,
100%.
Nobody's going to care about, like, if I fumbled on my words or something of that, or like maybe my hair didn't look like, dude, nobody cares.
No one cares.
More than anything, you're showing your true authentic self. People can relate to that.
Dude,
they can't relate to the facade.
100%. And like so I'll give you an example for everyone who's viewing and watching, and kind of play off what you said. So last weekend, went to a car show, went to the Highline Auto Show, first show, and I drive in, and it's like Lamborghini, Ferraris, McLarens, like all top-notch stuff. Like outside of San Francisco, but outside of Scottsdale in Phoenix. So I take my pops. It's basically my wife's father. So Papa John, shout out, what's up? And so we go out, I'm saying, hey, come out with me. And so we go, and you're supposed to register, be on a list, all the type of things. And so I go, and I'll go ahead and see if I have it. I don't have it right here. Do I have it? I just changed the picture, but this guy, he's like, hey man, like he takes a picture of the vehicle, and then I'm going over to park, and then he comes up, and I didn't know he took a picture at the beginning. And so then he comes up, I let him sit in it, he turns it on, he revs it once. You're not supposed to rev. I didn't know that either. And so he revs it once. He's like, oh man, this is my dream. And he about to be 18. I'm 17. And like, I want to get this in the next 3 years, and this, that, and the other thing. And like a part of like manifestation and getting what you want, and then tying it into like getting on video and helping that one person It's like I'm helping this one person like actualize, like materialize like his dream car.
100%.
Then he sees the Instagram, and then I'm doing videos and various things. Like last night, like I get these like niche like itches, and like I love tech, but I love working with my hands. And everything that I done to the lift off truck was myself, besides powder coating the rims and putting on the lift, and the same thing with the GTR. So last night I'm doing the underglow, right? And I got a show on Friday I'm going to.
Yeah.
And so now I'm sharing that. He's seeing it, other people are seeing it, and I'm building the network, and it's being selfless. It's like sharing what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, what's up, so that other people who are following me that might want that car or whatever is inspired entrepreneurs, they're seeing the journey on multiple levels, whether it's the podcast or liftoff, personal stuff, whatever the case may be. And then I'm just sharing, and then it could just be one more person on top of the guy who saw me at the car show, that who now is going to potentially have his car in 3 years, and someone new who, you know, whatever, can now follow me, and I can help in one way or another.
It's the ripple effect. Like that was
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it was the big thing that I kind of had to look at was I heard this story, and it was from one of my old coaches, and it's called the starfish marketing method. And
really?
so essentially what it is this little boy, he's on this beach, and it's during this time of year where, you know, uh, the tide's rolling in and starfish are washing up and everything.
Yeah.
And so this little boy's out there on the beach grabbing these starfish, tossing them back in one by one. And this old man sees this little boy, and he goes, "Little boy, there's hundreds of miles of beach here, and there's millions of starfish. You're never going to be able to get to them all." And the little boy looks at him, looks down, picks up a starfish, throws it back in the ocean, and he goes, "Yeah, but I saved that one." That's what it's all about right there.
I love that.
Is it you don't have to have the millions of followers or anything of that sort. Like it just takes one person. Like if one person can like listen to this of what you've created, dude, that's what it's all about. Because who's to say that that one person doesn't go out and potentially be the next Elon Musk?
Yep.
Like that's
100%.
the type of impact that I want to be able to leave before I die. You know, like I think it's all about it's all about the people you help and the impact that you make. That's what like really life is all about, in my opinion, is just loving thy neighbor. Like
100%.
I love that. Is, you know, you never want to hate on anybody, because for one, you don't know what they're going through, and for two, who's to say, like I got hated on all the time back in Nebraska, even just when I was gonna move over here. Like I remember this so vividly, and it was like the distinct moment I decided that I'm for sure moving and I'm never fucking coming back. And I was sitting in math class, and one of my best friends, shout out Aaron Fay.
Let's go.
He like overheard, or like I can't remember exactly what it was, but like that was like kind of when I broke the news that I was thinking about moving. And he let everybody know in the class. And of course, once again, super small town, like in class with all like every 27 people all day. Grown up with these kids all my life and everything. And we were in math class, and my teacher overheard it, and she was a sweetheart to me, like always loved me. I was always like, I was never like disrespectful or anything. I was super quiet, just kind of did my own thing. And she ended up hearing that, and that I was like gonna move to, or that I was thinking about moving to Arizona. And she was like, literally walks over to me, walks to my desk, puts her hands down, like standing over me. She's like, "I don't know why you think that you're moving. You're not gonna make friends. They won't like you over there." But like completely just shitting on me. And I remember I just like got super hot. I was like beet red, didn't know what the fuck to do.
Wow.
And it was like after I got out of class that day, I was like, yeah, like it's fucking done. Like I'm going there, and you're gonna eat those words. And like I look back at that now, it's like, dude, where I have gone, or like it's not like I'm even calling myself successful. I don't think I'm there yet. Truthfully, I just think I'm on the right path more than anything, and that's what I'm super grateful for. Is like just being somewhere that where I wasn't back then. You know, a lot of those people in those towns, they grow up there, and that's where they end up dying too. Like they don't venture off and go out and, you know, risk it, or like, you know, bet on themselves.
I love that.
Life is what it is, and that's what they accept. And like I'm not going to accept that. I'm not accepting just, you know, life as what it is. I am damn sure I can create a life that nobody else will live because I'm doing the work that nobody else will do.
I love that. Talking about like giving you, and I feel like signs from the universe, God, whatever you believe, come in multiple different ways. And I believe that was a sign for you.
For
Maybe
sure.
not the most positive,
Right?
but it gave you the fuel. And I could see you for your future going back to that school, now doubled or tripled in size.
Yeah.
And motivational speaking, and
Oh, for
basically
sure.
saying like, this is what it was, this is
Yeah.
where I'm at. And I know we're getting closer to the end of the show now. And one thing I wanted to bring up that I think can tie it all together is legacy,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not about the amount of money you make, it's the
No.
amount that you serve, the way that you show up. Devin, who was going to be on the show, shout out Devin, he's in San Diego. And he said something on the story yesterday along the lines of like, it's not so much about, you know, another transaction, another deal, but how he is leaving an everlasting impression and showing up and showing out and showing up for somebody else. And like that's that starfish story.
Yeah.
Just one starfish turns into something, God forbid, knocks on wood, you know, something happens, and that person will never forget that person for what they did. And like that's what it's about. And
Sure.
that's where it's like I do a lot of research on a lot of these various different big players, and like not to say anything negative about Grant Cardone or nothing negative about Peace Morby or any of those guys. They're great. You just have to understand like when you get to a certain point and you're like, oh, I want a yacht and I want to have like $1 billion and I want to have like 10 billion. And like, and you're in like the public's eyes, you got to be careful because a lot of people don't know the questions to ask.
Oh, for sure.
And then if you don't know what to ask and you get caught up in these like Dean Graziosi, I've invested like 14, 16 grand on his like wholesaling course and all this type of shit. And the next thing you know, it's just like, that money's gone. I never did anything with that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know out there the questions to ask. If you don't know the questions to ask, then just keep your guard up and do a lot of research to be able to like trust your gut. If you don't know what the questions to ask, to have more success with that process. So I just wanted to kind of put a couple of those things out there for y'all. And as we get closer to the end of the show, we're going to have you back on. I want to hear what happens as you get closer to, you know, 25 mil, the goal, you know, serving, supporting. Want to know if you hit that $100,000 mark or not by the time this episode is going to be live. It should be a month out. So you had, and also hopefully liftoff agent would had as well hit that goal of 100,000 in 30 days. We will putting it out there right now. So viewers and listeners, everyone out there today, what do you want them to take from today's episode to apply to their business to have more massive success as we close out?
I think more than anything is, you know, we're only here for a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Like that was like a big, I don't know, like a big eye opener for me is like how fast like life actually goes. Um, I honestly, I think the biggest thing that I would really just like pray for everybody to do is take a chance on yourself. Like no matter what other people think, no matter what other people say, like those opinions don't matter. Like, and more than anything, if anybody puts you down, it's more of a direct reflection on themselves. And they're just pissed or embarrassed or self-conscious that you're doing something that they're not. And I think that's the exact time, you know, when you do have those moments of where, you know, people are, you know, downing on you for like what you want to do with your life and all of that. Like those are the times that you definitely have to take the step forward.
Let's go.
Because it's bigger than you.
Yeah.
It's way bigger than you. It's about the people you help and the impact you make.
Yep.
And you taking that step to go forward and not listen to what all he say she say said.
Yep.
Like that's what matters, because now you're giving permission to the next guy that, or the next girl that was in your situation.
Yeah.
You gave them permission to go out and do the same shit you did. And now you can help them get through that even faster. That's what it's all about, is helping the people behind you.
Yep.
You know, like being a coach and all of that stuff, that's something I would eventually like to do. Definitely not anytime soon or anything like that. But it's like helping people along the path and just helping them accelerate even quicker through the shit that you had to kind of go through and figure out.
I love that. I love that. And in closing, I just want to add that teacher, if she knew how to like coach and like maybe come up to you in a way of like a loving, caring manner, could have said, I also wanted to move out of state, and I didn't move out of state because of A, B, C, D, exactly what she showed
100%.
you, because the only reason why she told you what she told you is because it's exactly the self-limiting beliefs she was dealing with and she didn't go through, and that's why she's still living in the town that she lives in.
Yep.
So don't be the narrative, bringing it all together. Don't be the teacher telling the person, don't do this, don't do that. Be the teacher that just tells the person that I wish I would have done and I didn't because of. Let's lead with love, lead by example. Dominic, dude, this was amazing, bro.
I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you too, bro. All the links, check them out, follow them. I think a couple extra followers, maybe some DMs. We want to see more content.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Dom, where you at?
Lift off agent _ Dom Wendell on Instagram. That's probably where I'm the most active.
Okay.
And we also got a YouTube channel coming out. Just started recording. We got 2 videos in the pipeline.
Let's go.
Got to record like 2 or 3 more. Then we'll start uploading and everything. But that's going to be all things real estate wholesaling, young investors.
Let's go.
What it's going to be called. So
that's sick. You're hearing it first. Real estate versus technology. Like, subscribe, notification bell, the podcast. Want your feedback. And it is our intention for you to take things from episodes, apply to your business, have more massive success. And we will see you guys all on the next one.